Hello and welcome. This is the Bernard Walter Show, and I'm your host, Bernard Walter. Okay, I know what you're thinking. Is the title of this video a clickbait? Well, it's not for me, and it actually depends if it's for you. You see, if the first thing that comes to your mind when you're asked what's the difference between regular iPhone 11 and iPhone 11 Pro is the screen, then sorry, I can't help with it. The screen is fixed. All I can say is that iPhone 11 screen is actually really great. It's just the iPhone 11's Pro screen is a little bit better, a little brighter and have better contrast. However, if the first thing that comes to your mind is better cameras on iPhone 11 Pro or actually additional camera, well, you're in luck because here is the Moment 58mm telephoto lens, which is actually the equivalent to a 2x zoom, which is exactly what's missing on the regular iPhone 11 compared to the iPhone 11 Pro. This lens is actually even better than the built-in lens on the iPhone 11 Pro, sorry for the dog snoring, because it's mounted on the top of the main sensor, which has a little better aperture and is a little better sensor overall, which means that you can have a little better shallow depth of field, a little better photos and videos in the low light, and still you will have the great 2x zoom. I will show you some sample photos in a moment and you will judge by yourself. Here we have 3 photos of the same subject, and as you can see right off the bat, the middle one, regular lens cropped, is the worst one. It doesn't have much bokeh, the black pen is too sharp and there is noise and artifacts in the shadows. Meanwhile, what separates close-up and moment telephoto lens is mainly the bokeh. In both images the main object is sharp and good looking, while the lights are blurred. But if you look closely, the wires and the pen are both blurred in the moment photo, while too sharp in the close-up one. And the 58mm lens produces natural bokeh, which is that much more impressive. Not to mention lossless zoom. Also, as you can see, the moment lenses are made from a high quality metal and glass, and the optics themselves are really fantastic. Actually, it's also a little bit of a downside because this lens is actually quite heavy. It makes up to 1/3 of the total weight of the phone, which is really significant, especially if you mount your phone on a gimbal. Thankfully, some gimbals like Osmo Mobile 3, which I'm using currently, works well even with the lens attached. Now, if I were asked which lens is ultimately better, this one or the built-in lens on the 11 Pro, I would actually go with the 11 Pro because it is slightly worse, but miles more convenient. Like, the convenience is a key as the AirPods shown to us, and you can't argue with that. However, if you don't think about this lens as a telephoto lens, which it actually isn't, like, I wouldn't take it for a sports game. Let's be honest, 2x zoom, it's not enough to shoot a sport game. Think of this lens more about a portrait lens, a studio lens, and if you picture yourself in a studio with perfect lighting, setting up and composing photo with your model, then having interchangeable lenses and having it all, prepared, it actually makes you feel even more pro or in the role. You look more professional because your phone now has this big lens that separates it from all the other phones that everyone has, and you can actually even achieve a natural bokeh without the portrait mode. Like, you can see the bokeh, the lights there should be blurred in the background while my face is still sharp. Like, you can even amplify it with this lens, and the telephoto changed the perspective. It really makes great portrait shots, and for that I think this lens is perfect. I mean, it still gives you 2x zoom, so for the situation when you want to picture something that's on the sea and you can't go further, you're standing on a pier for example, this lens is still a nice thing. So I'm taking it with me for all the trips, and it works really great for me. But as I said, it excels in the situations when you can prepare yourself, because anytime you have a fast-moving object like a small animal that you want to, take your phone out of your pocket and shoot a photo, the built-in lens will always win. But you need to remember the built-in lens actually means a phone that's much more expensive than the iPhone 11 with already bought the telephoto lens. Like this telephoto lens costs $129, which is a lot, I'm not gonna lie, but you can still buy this lens, a Osmo Mobile free combo, iPhone 11 with 128 gigs of storage, and it will be cheaper than iPhone 11 Pro with comparable storage. Now, here's a little asterisk. The comparable storage means 256 gigs on the iPhone's Pro model, and it was actually the thing that convinced me to buy iPhone 11, the fact that here I could buy 128 gigs of storage for only $50 more compared to the baseline, whereas in the Pro models you need to pay upfront $150 just to escape the 64 gig entry level. And sure, you have now 256 gigs, which is nice, but it's overkill for me, and paying $100 more is just a lot. Like, for the price I can get this lens, especially when there's a discount or something. Also, a fact that you may not know is that the 5.8-inch iPhone Pro doesn't support the landscape mode, while the 6.1 regular iPhone 11 already does. So in fact, for me, the bigger screen with some additional features is better than the smaller screen with, better contrast and better blacks. Okay, so let's talk about the lens itself a little bit more. As I mentioned before, it's made from high quality glass and metal, and they are actually surprisingly heavy. Like, when you take it in your hand for the first time, it really feels like a professional tool, not a lens to your phone. And actually, I think that now your phone is getting so close to be the only professional tool you need for vlogging. So the phones are getting better and better every year. And I really appreciate stuff that you can buy for your current phone, but keep it for the future generations. For example, DJI Osmo Mobile. Like, this gimbal is so good because it's really affordable price now. It's really getting more and more portable, more and more smart, and it works with different phones, which means the new phone come next year, you switch to a new phone, you get a better camera. Your gimbal is still as good as it was, and the image quality is getting better. And similar case is with the Moment lenses. They are actually interchangeable. You can mount it on different brands. You can mount it on Samsung's phones, Pixel phones, iPhones. You can mount them on the OnePlus, as far as I know. They are available for some time, and it's great to see how they are getting better and better each year, thanks to the phones getting better and the lenses staying the same. So you need to remember that yes, this is $129, but you get a lens that will be with you as long as you wish. I think that this is a good investment because it will be like with you for a longer time. So the iPhone 11 with a Moment telephoto lens and a case will cost you about $850 with free worldwide delivery, which is actually a great price. It's less than a Pixel 4 initial price as far as I remember, and you get triple camera setup. Well, actually it's a dual camera setup with a telephoto lens. The telephoto lens will work with a night mode, will work with a portrait mode, will work with a deep fusion, it will work with the video. It's just a great investment in my opinion. Okay, if you're interested in the Moment lens, I'll leave a link in my description below for you to buy. I highly recommend it. This video wasn't sponsored by Moment. I simply love their work. I love their products. They are so high quality. They are packed well when you buy them. They are really, really nice, things. They're also quite nice gifts. You just need to remember about the case, because without the case, the Moment lens won't work. But they are actually reasonably priced. I mean, when you're thinking $129 for an iPhone accessory, like, it's the AirPods territory. But if someone's into iPhone photography and it's becoming a thing, consider them, especially as I mentioned before. You can have those lenses for years now. You can just change your phones and keep the same lenses. And iPhone 11 with the Moment telephoto lens and DJI Osmo Mobile 3, which makes a perfect videographer kit, will cost still less than comparable iPhone 11 Pro Max. And it's just insane. You will still save some money and will have all the tools that are perfect for vlogging. You might even have some cash left for a microphone, and by cash I mean up more than $100. So all in all, I think that if the screen isn't a deal breaker already, if you gave the video a shot, I think that with those lenses you can get more from your phone. Because remember that iPhone 11 is a great phone already. The main camera is perfect, the wide angle gives you more possibilities than ever before, and the telephoto lens, you can always attach it. So I decided I'll give it a try. And as you can see from the title of the video, I'm really happy with it. You see, I'm a creator, so the screen isn't as important for me as are the cameras, and actually for all those people thinking that the creator needs the OLED screen, I would say that the LCD on the iPhone 11 is so great. The color reproduction is perfect, it's plenty bright. All you're missing is the true blacks, but you actually know what you're shooting because you see it with your eyes in front of you. You're just holding the camera. Think of the screen now as a viewfinder. It's less important. So, to sum up, the iPhone 11 Pro is a little better phone that costs a lot more. So, if you want your vlogging phone, I would actually recommend you steal the iPhone 11 with the perfect built-in microphone and main camera, and buy external lenses and DJI Osmo Mobile 3, for example. This setup together is just perfect. So that's all. I hope you guys liked it. Hit the subscribe button. I have some subscribe button somewhere here on the screen, and comment below what you think, what you want me to test for you, and happy holidays, happy new year.